Hey, Andy, thank you so much for joining us today. We are so excited to feature you on Bold Blind Beauty. So, my first question for you is what motivates you as a sighted person to passionately advocate for and collaborate with blind individuals in the Bold Blind Beauty community?
So, first off, I must say thank you so much for having me on. I'm like super excited, super honored. You know how I feel about you guys, so I truly appreciate it. One of the things that makes me gun ho and makes my heart warm is that I am working with some wonderfully talented individuals, seeing the creativity that's going out there. One of the things is something that's going on with my mom. So I'm just excited about learning and being an advocate and helping others to understand the community and how everybody can be included and help. So that's why I'm passionate about being here and helping in any way, shape, and form that I can.
And you definitely do that. And we just think it's so wonderful how you put yourself out there for and with us.
Thank you.
So moving on, could you share your journey of how you became involved with Bold Blind Beauty and what inspired you to contribute your talents as a voice artist for the book Embracing Beauty, Style, and Confidence While Blind?
Yeah, so it was a LinkedIn story, actually. I believe I Googled some information when I was doing some research for my mom, who has glaucoma, and she has been going through some issues with her eyesight. And I was Googling some information and I found Bold Blind Beauty. I saw a post that you put out there, Steph. It was one of your friends who's a chef. And I believe I responded because I thought that post was awesome. And then we started conversing via LinkedIn and then eventually offline. So my journey to Bold Blind Beauty, actually, I have to say, my mum is really because I was Googling some information for my mother.
Yes, and I remember now because it was about Regina Mitchell,
Yes,
and
that's it.
she was featured on CNN, and you commented
Yeah,
that.
and then when it comes to the book, the ebook, I mean, the title itself, let's talk about that. The title just took me by like the reins, Real Beauty Transcends, and I loved it. I love the concept. I think everybody needs to hear about it. And there's some great information that I didn't know. So it's a learning experience for all.
Well, thank you so much for that. When I was thinking about the project, you were the first person who came to mind because being in this position of someone who has lost their sight, I'm constantly thinking about accessibility and content that I create, how that can be accessible to people in the blind and low vision community. So when thinking about writing a book, I felt that having an audio book would be something that everybody could access, even sighted people if they so
Yeah,
choose to.
yeah, absolutely. It's an awesome gift out there for everybody to listen to and learn. There's so much to learn. Steph, you're a teacher.
Well, thank you for that. Andy, in your experience of volunteering with Bold Blind Beauty, what significant moments or interactions have left a lasting impact on you?
We don't have enough time, Steph, to talk about everything that's occurred. I honestly believe in timing. There's a timing for everything. Things happen for a reason. And my journey with your team has been so rewarding when it comes to my personal growth. I really can't put my finger on what what moment has been gratifying because every team meeting is a wonderful experience. Everybody is inclusive. And, I just would want to say this. You all open your arms to me, very welcoming. And just to have that experience, just to be able to partake, give my ideas and being acceptable speaks volume to me. And just all of you have so much to offer, and we're all in this together, so to speak.
So, Andy, how do you envision the continued collaboration between sighted individuals and the blind community contributing to the mission of Bold Blind Beauty and promoting inclusivity and empowerment?
That is a huge question, but not. So, simplicity is we all have to collaborate and we all need to communicate a lot better. And when I say a lot better, I just mean that we don't know what we don't know. So, as a sighted person, we have to ask the questions. And sometimes I think we're in a place or society that people are afraid to ask the questions, the necessary questions. For us to grow, we need to know. And so, as a community, if we can all work together, all recognize our values, our strengths, right? And the communities work together as a team, we can move forward a lot easier. It's very important to get that information out there. As I said, my mum has glaucoma, and she's going through some eyesight issues, and then my grandmother lost her eyesight. My mum is from the Caribbean, and at that time, doctors, medicine was a little bit different, and we didn't have the technology that we have now. If I ask a question, for example, to somebody who is visually impaired or who is blind, give me a little bit of grace. If I ask a question and it's not appropriate or it doesn't sound right, just communicate and get to know each other. The reason why I say that so much, we just need to be transparent. We just have to break down those barriers, right? And take down those biases. We can't put everybody in one box because we're not. Everybody is important. Everybody has their uniqueness. We have to appreciate everybody's uniqueness in the world. Disability could happen to anybody, and we have to get to the point where we can accept each other. If we can work together and not prevent just because somebody has some disability and put restrictions on people, we have to stop that. We really do. I mean, if we could build this community so that we can look at beauty standards, and then we can empower each other and build a more compassionate and understanding society, wouldn't that be great? That's what would be lovely.
Yeah, that would be awesome. So, Andy, one final question for you. Can you just share with us how you got into voice acting?
Oh, yeah. So when I was younger, I actually wanted to get into jingles. I used to sing and I loved the commercials, and I just loved jingles. So that was when I was younger, and I used to be in the theater and did musicals and all that stuff, sung at school. Then I came to the States, got married, had kids, got into the corporate world, didn't think about it again. I worked for Disney for 3 years, and I actually had met a gentleman, and he was a producer in Atlanta. And we had a conversation. He's like, "Oh, you should really think about getting into voiceover." However, at that time, he's like, "Oh, but you would have to go to Atlanta or New York, right? Because everything was there." And even though I was in Florida, but I didn't think about it. I had the kids, and I just wasn't thinking about it. Then a few years ago, I just decided I got this fire to just decide to look into it again. And then I did. I took a course and started training. And you're always training everybody. If anybody wants to get into voiceover, you will always be training. And so that's where I am. I'm training and enjoying everything. Every day is an experience and I'm loving it. And then I'm meeting wonderful people and here I am with you. So the best time of my life right now.
That sounds great. Do you have any advice for any younger folks who may be thinking about getting into the business?
Yeah, I would definitely tell them to do your research. Research is the key. There's so much information out there. Sometimes you get inundated with information. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me. I could definitely point you in a direction. Somebody knows somebody. Yeah, it's definitely research, definitely training, get into acting classes. Start from there. It's a wonderful experience. I'm having a wonderful time. Oh, and it's hard work. Just to put that out there.
Yeah, and I know that it's also work that it can be solitary at times, right? Because you're doing a lot of it at home. I know a lot of people can go into the studio, but self-directed is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, yeah, no, you're right. You're absolutely right. It's a lot of work. Yes, it's a lot of time when you're on your own. A lot of questioning, did I do it okay? But again, if it's something that you want to do, you just have to really want it and know that it is rewarding, but it is work.
Oh,
It's a
Andy, thank
business.
you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.